Nicholas of Cusa was a German philosopher and theologian who developed a distinctive philosophical vision centered on the concept of learned ignorance. He argued that human reason has limits when it comes to understanding the world and the infinite. True wisdom, he claimed, lies in recognizing what we do not and cannot fully know. He emphasized the idea of coincidence of opposites, suggesting that in the divine, opposites converge. The universe, for him, is a dynamic expression of God, the absolute maximum. His thought blends Neoplatonism, Christian mysticism, and early scientific speculation. He anticipated later ideas of relativity and infinite cosmos, making him a bridge between medieval and modern thought. Marsilio Ficino was a key figure of the Florentine Renaissance who translated and revived Plato's works. He combined Christian theology with Platonic philosophy, creating a spiritualized humanism. He believed that the human soul links the material and divine realms, and that love draws the soul upward toward divine beauty. His idea of Platonic love became central to Renaissance thought. Ficino's synthesis of ancient wisdom and Christian faith inspired generations of thinkers, making him a cornerstone of Renaissance Neoplatonism and early modern spirituality. Pico della Mirandola was an Italian philosopher and theologian. His oration on the dignity of man is often called the Manifesto of the Renaissance. He celebrated human freedom and the capacity to shape one's nature through knowledge and will. Drawing from many traditions, Platonism, Aristotelianism, Kabbalah, he argued that truth could be found across philosophies. This universalism aimed to unite diverse worldviews under a shared spiritual quest. The Italian thinker saw humanity as uniquely placed in the cosmic hierarchy, with the power to rise to the angelic or fall to the bestial. His optimism about human potential marked a shift from medieval to modern values. Niccolò Machiavelli was an Italian philosopher who broke with idealistic views of politics by focusing on power, strategy, and real-world outcomes. In The Prince, he argued that rulers must sometimes act against conventional moral rules and use force to maintain stability. He separated ethics from politics, emphasizing that appearances, fear, and deception are tools of statecraft. His realism shocked many but also clarified how power time and again operates in practice. Though often seen as cynical, Machiavelli aimed to preserve civic order and republican liberty. His work influenced modern political science and continues to provoke debate on leadership and morality. Erasmus was a Dutch Christian humanist who sought to reform the Church through education, reason, and a return to the sources of Christian wisdom. He emphasized inner piety over external ritual. He translated and edited the New Testament, promoting what he thought was a more accurate and humane Christianity. His praise of folly satirized corruption in church and society, advocating moral clarity and humility. The Dutch thinker valued peace, dialogue, and moderation. Though critical of church abuses, he opposed violent reform and sought a renewal of faith grounded in learning and conscience. Thomas More was an English philosopher. His utopia presents a fictional society governed by reason, communal property, and religious tolerance. It critiques European politics by contrasting them with an ideal alternative. More emphasized moral integrity and civic responsibility. Though he imagined an ideal society, he remained firmly committed to Christian doctrine and resisted changes he saw as dangerous. Executed for opposing the split from the Catholic Church, More became a martyr for conscience. His thought reflects tensions between political power, personal ethics, and idealism. Martin Luther was a German thinker and theologian. His philosophy centered on justification by faith alone. He challenged church authority by asserting that salvation came through personal faith, not institutional mediation. The German thinker emphasized the priesthood of all believers, arguing that every Christian has direct access to God through Scripture. His translation of the Bible into German helped democratize religious knowledge. Luther's rebellion sparked the Protestant Reformation, reshaping religion, politics, and identity in Europe. His views on the relationship between faith, knowledge, and authority helped reshape both religious and philosophical thought in the modern West. Michel de Montaigne was a French thinker who pioneered the philosophical essay, using personal reflection to explore the human condition. He stressed skepticism, humility, and the limits of reason. He believed in understanding others through empathy and self-awareness. By observing himself, he hoped to grasp what it means to be human, fragile, contradictory, and mortal. Montaigne's thought anticipates modern existentialism and relativism. He championed tolerance, introspection, and the idea that philosophy should begin with life, not systems. Francisco Suarez was a Spanish philosopher and theologian who was a major figure in late scholasticism. He sought to reconcile faith and reason, blending Thomist, Scotist, and Jesuit traditions into a refined metaphysical system. He developed a theory of law and political authority grounded in natural law and human consent. The Spanish thinker influenced both Catholic thought and emerging secular theories of sovereignty. His rigorous logic, metaphysics, and theology helped shape early modern philosophy. He served as a bridge between medieval scholasticism and modern concepts of rights and governance. Galileo Galilei was an Italian researcher and philosopher who revolutionized science by combining observation, experimentation, and mathematics. He championed the heliocentric model, challenging church orthodoxy with evidence from his telescope. He argued that nature speaks in the language of mathematics and that scientific inquiry should be based on reason and experience, not tradition or authority. Galileo's trial by the Inquisition made him a symbol of intellectual freedom. His philosophy laid the groundwork for the scientific method and modern empirical thought.